In a far corner of the galaxy, on a small, quiet planet, Mina lay under the dim light of the twin moons. She was very weak. Her skin, pale like the light, was almost transparent. Her lips were dry and cracked. Mina was from a special alien species. That was very different from the humans who lived nearby. Her people needed something called life essence to survive. It was like water, but stronger. Without it, she would soon die. Mina had traveled a long way from her home world. She was searching for help because her supplies were almost finished. But the planet she landed on was strange and unfamiliar. The humans here did not know about her kind. They were afraid of strangers. Mina felt alone and scared. She tried to stand up, but her legs shook. She looked around the small village where she had landed. There were simple houses made of stone and wood. Some small gardens showed signs of life. People moved quietly, watching her from a distance. She could see their eyes filled with fear and curiosity. They had never seen anyone like Mina before. Suddenly, a man came out of a house. His name was Tom. He was not very tall, but had kind eyes and a gentle face. Tom noticed Mina right away. He did not run away like the others. Instead, he took a slow step closer. "Are you okay?" Tom asked softly, his voice calm and warm. Mina looked at him with tired eyes. She tried to speak, but her voice was weak. She could only say a few words. "Help. Thirsty. Life gone. Please." Tom did not understand the strange words, but he could see her need. He quickly went to his house and brought a small bowl of water. He gave it to Mina with care. Mina drank the water slowly, but her face showed no relief. She still looked weak and in pain. Tom watched her closely. He realized this water was not enough. He called some villagers to help. A woman brought cloth and clean water. They tried to wash Mina's face and hands. Some children peeked from behind doors, curious but afraid. Mina wanted to explain more, but her voice was too soft. She tried to show them by using her hands. She touched her neck and then pointed to Tom. "Need life essence," she whispered. The villagers looked confused and frightened. Tom frowned. He decided to stay close to Mina to protect her. As night grew deeper, Mina's body grew colder. Tom put a warm blanket over her shoulders. He sat beside her and kept talking gently to calm her. "Don't worry," Tom said. "We will find a way." Mina looked at Tom, and for the first time, she felt a small hope. Maybe these humans were not so different from her own people. Maybe they could help, but the night was long and full of silence. The stars shone bright, and the twin moons watched over them quietly. Mina closed her eyes and tried to rest. In the morning, the village woke to find Mina still weak, but alive. Tom had stayed by her side all night. The villagers began to talk, quietly among themselves. Some said she was a danger, others said she was a stranger in need. Tom stood up and faced them. "She is hurt. She is not here to fight. We must help her." Slowly, the villagers agreed. They brought simple food and water. They gave Mina a small room in the village house. Tom stayed close, helping her as best as he could. Days passed, and Mina's strength returned slowly. She learned to trust Tom and the villagers a little more. She still did not speak their language well, but her eyes told stories of her world, her people, and her danger. One day, Mina took Tom's hand and led him outside the village. She pointed to the sky and made a slow circle with her finger. "My world, far," she said softly. Tom looked up. The sky was blue and clear. "You want to go home?" Mina nodded. "Yes, but no life, no strength, no home." Tom understood that Mina was lost, far from her people, and very weak. He felt sadness for her, but he also felt a strong wish to help her. That day, Tom made a promise inside his heart. "I will help you, Mina. You will not be alone." Mina smiled faintly. It was the first smile since she arrived. But the danger was still close. Mina's people were hunted by others in the galaxy. Her thirst for life essence was more urgent than ever, and Tom, the simple human, would soon learn that helping Mina was not only a challenge of trust, but a test of courage beyond anything he had ever faced. The sun rose slowly over the small human village. The light touched the simple homes and the green fields around. Mina sat quietly by the window of the small room the villagers had given her. She still felt very weak. Her skin was pale, and her eyes looked tired. Her body needed more than just water and food. She needed the special life essence to survive. Tom visited her early in the morning. He brought a small bowl of fresh water and some food from the village. He smiled kindly as he set the bowl down on the table. "Try to eat something, Mina," Tom said softly. Mina looked at the food, but did not move. She shook her head slowly. "No, no help, no enough." Tom frowned. He knew she was trying to say something important. Mina reached out and touched her neck again. Then she pointed to Tom's neck. Tom looked at her carefully. His heart beat faster. Could she be asking for more than water? He had heard stories from travelers about strange creatures who needed to feed on others, but he never believed them. He sat down beside her. "Mina, I want to help. Tell me what you need." Mina took a deep breath and tried to explain. Her voice was low but clear. "Life, essence, like blood, need to drink, to live." Tom's eyes widened. The villagers had told him many strange stories about aliens and their needs, but this was different. Mina was telling him she needed something like blood to survive. Tom looked at her with concern. He knew many humans would be afraid or angry. But he also saw the pain in Mina's eyes. She was not a danger. She was just a lost girl trying to live. Tom stood up and walked to the village healer's house. He knew the healer was wise and kind. Maybe she could help Mina. Inside the healer's home, Tom explained Mina's condition. The healer, an older woman named Sarah, listened carefully. She had never seen a case like this before. "We do not have anything like this life essence," Sarah said slowly, "but we can help keep her safe and strong as much as possible." Tom nodded. "I will stay with her. She trusts me." Sarah smiled softly. "That is good. Trust is the first step." Back in the small room, Tom sat beside Mina again. He held her hand gently. "I will stay with you. We will find a way." Mina looked at Tom with grateful eyes. She felt safer with him near. Days passed, but Mina's thirst grew stronger. She tried to drink water, but it only made her feel worse. Sometimes she felt dizzy and cold. Tom watched her carefully. He did not want to scare the villagers, but he also wanted to help Mina. One afternoon, Mina sat outside near the village. "Well?" She looked at the people around her. They were busy with their daily work, unaware of the silent struggle inside her. Tom came and sat next to her. "Mina, I am worried. You need something more. I don't want to see you suffer." Mina sighed. If no help, I will die. Tom felt a deep sadness. He did not want to lose Mina, who had become a friend. He thought about the stories he had heard about humans helping strangers, even when it was hard. Suddenly, Tom had an idea. Mina, what if I help you? What if I give you what you need? Mina looked at him with surprise. You? But you are human. You can be hurt. Tom smiled gently. I trust you. I want to help. Mina hesitated. She had never met a human like Tom before. His kindness was new to her. Slowly, she nodded. That night, Tom prepared himself. He sat in the small room, calm but ready. Mina came close, her eyes shining with hope and fear. She touched Tom's neck softly. Tom did not move. He wanted to show her that he trusted her completely. Mina lowered her head and fed carefully. She drank just enough to feel stronger. Tom felt a strange warmth, but no pain. When Mina lifted her head, she looked at Tom with gratitude. Thank you, she whispered. Tom smiled. You are welcome. We will find a way together. The next day, the villagers noticed Mina looked stronger. She walked with more energy and smiled more. Tom told them about his choice to help her. Some were shocked, but many admired his courage. A few children came to Mina, curious and less afraid. Mina smiled and let them come close. She even told a small story about her home world, using simple words and gestures. Tom and Mina's friendship grew. They learned from each other every day. Mina taught Tom about the stars and her people. Tom showed Mina the village and its peaceful life. But deep inside, Mina knew the danger was not gone. Her kind was hunted by others in the galaxy. Her thirst for life essence was a secret that must be protected. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky orange, Mina looked at Tom. Thank you for trust. You are good human. Tom laughed softly. And you are brave, Mina. They both knew the road ahead was hard, but they were ready to face it, together. The village had become quieter since Mina arrived, but the curiosity about her did not fade. The villagers watched from a distance, still unsure about her strange needs. Many talked in whispers about the alien girl who fed from a human's neck. Some were afraid, but others were amazed by the trust between Mina and Tom. Mina was getting stronger day by day. Her pale skin began to show a healthy glow. Her eyes, once dull and tired, now sparkled with life. But her need for the special life essence remained urgent. Without it, she could not live long. Tom continued to stay close to her. He had grown used to Mina's strange ways and gentle nature. Every time she needed to feed, he was ready. He offered his neck without fear. To him, helping Mina was a sign of kindness and trust, not danger. One afternoon, the sun shone bright, and Mina and Tom sat under a large tree near the village square. Children played nearby, their laughter filling the air. Mina smiled softly, watching the joyful sounds. She wished her own world was like this. Suddenly, Mina's body trembled. Her hands shook, and her eyes grew heavy. The thirst had returned, stronger than before. She looked at Tom with pain. I need now, she whispered. Tom nodded and stood up quickly. He knew Mina's signals well. Without hesitation, he turned to her and said, I'm here. Mina moved closer. She reached out and gently touched Tom's neck. Her lips brushed softly. against his skin. Tom closed his eyes, trusting her completely. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Mina's eyes widened. She stopped and pulled back slowly. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I did not want to hurt." Tom smiled. "You did not. I'm okay." Mina looked surprised and grateful. She touched his face lightly. "Thank you. You are brave." Tom laughed softly. "You're the brave one, Mina." That day, the villagers saw Mina feed from Tom again. Some children watched with wide eyes. The adults whispered, but no one stopped them. Tom's act of kindness had changed many hearts. As evening came, Mina and Tom sat together watching the stars. Mina pointed at the sky and said, "My people far away. They hunt me." Tom's smile faded. "You are safe here. I will protect you." Mina looked at him with deep thanks. "You give life, not only food." Tom took her hand gently. "We help each other. That is how friends live." The night was calm, but the danger was close. Mina knew her people's hunters were searching for her. She did not want to bring trouble to the peaceful village. In the days that followed, Tom helped Mina learn about human ways. He showed her simple tools and the village's life. Mina taught Tom about her special senses and how she could see in the dark. One night, while walking near the village edge, Mina stopped suddenly. She held Tom's arm tightly. "They come," she said in a low voice. Tom's eyes grew serious. "Who?" "The hunters. They follow me." Tom felt a cold fear. He had never faced danger like this before, but he knew he could not leave Mina alone. "Come with me," Tom said firmly. "We will face this together." They returned to the village and told the elders about the hunters. The villagers were scared but trusted Tom's judgment. They prepared quietly to protect their home. Mina and Tom worked together to make plans. Mina shared what she knew about her people's hunters. They were strong but not clever. Tom used this knowledge to think of ways to protect the village without fighting. "We will use tricks," Tom explained. "We will confuse them." Mina nodded. "Yes, make traps." The villagers helped build simple traps and barriers. They placed noisemakers in the trees and dug small pits covered with leaves. Mina used her sharp senses to watch for any signs of the hunters. Days passed without any sign of danger. The villagers began to relax but stayed ready. One evening, as the sun was setting, Mina felt a strange sound. Her ears twitched, and she signaled Tom. "They come," she whispered. Tom gathered the villagers. Everyone hid quietly, waiting. From the shadows, a small group of dark figures appeared. They moved slowly, searching. Their eyes shone with cold light. Mina's heart beat fast. She held Tom's hand tightly. The hunters stopped near the village. They looked around, suspicious. "Tom," whispered to Mina, "stay calm, let me do this." He stepped out slowly and raised his hands. "We don't want trouble," Tom said loudly. "Leave now, and no one will be hurt." The hunters looked at Tom with surprise. They did not expect such bravery. Mina moved beside Tom, showing herself. "We protect our home," she said softly but firmly. The hunters hesitated. They were strong, but not used to facing humans who stood so boldly. After a tense moment, the hunters decided to leave. They vanished into the dark forest. The villagers cheered quietly. Tom and Mina smiled at each other. That night, Mina sat beside Tom feeling safe for the first time in a long time. "Thank you," she said. "You saved me." Tom shook his head. "We saved each other." Mina leaned her head on Tom's shoulder. The stars above twinkled like they understood the promise made between a human and an alien girl. The bond of trust was stronger than fear. Together, they had faced the unknown, and this was only the beginning. The morning sun filled the village with soft light. The air was fresh and cool. Mina stood by the small garden behind the village house. She watched the green plants sway in the gentle breeze. For the first time since she arrived, she felt calm. The danger from the hunters had passed, at least for now. Tom came outside and smiled when he saw Mina. "Good morning," he said softly. Mina returned the smile. "Good morning, Tom." Over the past days, Mina and Tom had grown closer. They spent many hours talking, even though their languages were different. Mina used simple words, gestures, and drawings to tell her stories. Tom listened carefully and tried to learn her language bit by bit. The villagers were still cautious, but began to accept Mina more. They saw how Tom cared for her, and how she helped the village with small tasks. Mina was gentle and kind, even, though her needs were different. One afternoon, Tom invited Mina to the village square. Some villagers had gathered to teach her about their world. An old man showed Mina how to use a simple tool to dig soil. A young woman gave her fruits and explained their names. Children tried to teach her games. Mina laughed and smiled. She felt happy to be part of something new. After the lesson, Mina and Tom walked to a quiet place by the river. The water flowed slowly over smooth stones. Mina dipped her hand into the cool water and watched the ripples spread. "I miss my world," Mina said softly. Tom looked at her with understanding. "I know, but you are safe here now." Mina nodded. "You are a good friend." Tom smiled. "We help each other. That is what friends do." As days turned into weeks, Mina's strength grew. She no longer looked weak or tired. Her skin had a warm color, and her eyes shone bright. But the thirst for life essence still stayed inside her. It was a quiet hunger she could not ignore. 1. Evening, Mina sat with Tom outside the village house. The sky was painted with colors of the setting sun. Mina looked at Tom with serious eyes. "Tom, I want to try something," she said. Tom was curious. "What is it?" "I want to learn more about humans," Mina explained. "Your food, your ways, your lives." Tom nodded happily. "I will teach you. We can learn together." For the next few days, Tom showed Mina how humans lived. He took her to the fields where farmers worked. He introduced her to more villagers. Mina learned how to cook simple food and how to use tools. The villagers began to see Mina not just as an alien, but as a part of their community. They asked her questions, and she answered with kindness. One day, Mina helped the village children gather herbs and flowers. She showed them how to recognize useful plants. The children listened with wide eyes and smiles. Tom watched this with pride. He knew Mina was not just surviving, she was growing and helping others. But trust was not easy for everyone. Some villagers still whispered doubts. They wondered if Mina's need for life essence could bring danger. Tom spoke to the village elders. "Mina is one of us now. She trusts us, and we trust her." The elders nodded slowly. They respected Tom's words and saw the changes in Mina. One elder, a wise woman named Lena, came to Mina. "You have been brave," Lena said. "You have earned our trust." Mina bowed her head respectfully. "Thank you. I want to live in peace." That night, Mina and Tom sat by the fire. The stars above were bright and clear. Mina looked at Tom and smiled. "You helped me," she said. "You gave me hope." Tom smiled back. "And you gave me friendship." They both knew their journey was not over. The hunters were still out there. But together, they had built something new. Trust, friendship, and hope. The village had become a place of peace for Mina, a place where she could learn and grow, a place where humans and aliens could live together, and that was the true power of kindness. The village was calm and peaceful under the warm morning sun. Mina had grown stronger and happier. She spent her days learning about humans and helping in small ways around the village. The villagers had begun to trust her, and she felt like she belonged. But far away, beyond the stars and dark spaces, danger was moving closer. A group of hunters from Mina's world had learned where she was. These hunters did not want to talk or make peace. They wanted to capture Mina and bring her back, no matter what. One afternoon, Mina was helping Tom gather firewood near the edge of the forest. The wind was soft and birds sang quietly. Suddenly, Mina's sharp ears caught a strange noise, a low growl and footsteps. She froze and looked around. "Tom," she whispered, "danger near." Tom looked in the direction Mina pointed. He could see shadows moving quickly between the trees. "They come," Mina said quietly. "Hunters." Tom's face grew serious. "We must warn the village." They hurried back. Tom and Mina reached the village just as the elders were meeting. Tom told them about the hunters. The villagers were afraid but trusted Tom and Mina. The elders called for a meeting to decide what to do. "We must protect our home," Lena said. "But we must also try to avoid fighting." Tom agreed. "We can use smart plans, not just strength." Mina nodded. "Hunters are strong, but not smart. We can trick them." The villagers worked together to prepare. They built traps in the forest and made noisemakers to scare the hunters. Mina used her sharp senses to watch for signs of the hunters' arrival. Tom taught the villagers how to stay quiet and move carefully. The villagers practiced hiding and helping each other. As night fell, the village was ready. The stars shone bright, but the quiet was tense. Everyone waited. Suddenly, the hunters appeared at the edge of the forest. Their eyes shone in the dark. They moved slowly, searching. Mina and Tom watched from behind a large tree. The hunters did not see them. Tom whispered, "Remember the plan? Stay calm." Mina nodded. She felt fear, but also hope. She trusted Tom and the villagers. The hunters stepped into the traps. Some fell into hidden pits. Others were scared by the noisemakers. The hunters growled and tried to find a way out, but the village was ready. The hunters became confused and tired. Tom and Mina moved quietly among the trees. They helped the villagers keep the hunters away. One hunter saw Mina and shouted. The others turned and ran toward the village. The villagers stood strong. They did not run. Tom and Mina led them in a peaceful way to push the hunters back. The hunters realized the village was united and brave. They had no chance. Slowly, the hunters retreated into the forest. The village cheered quietly. Tom and Mina smiled at each other. "We did it," Tom said. Mina nodded. Together, we are strong. The next morning, the village was peaceful again. The villagers worked to repair the traps and clean the forest. Lena came to Mina and Tom. "You have shown great courage," she said. "You saved us all." Mina looked at the village she now called home. She felt grateful and proud. She knew the danger might come again, but she was ready. With Tom and the villagers, she was not alone. That night, Mina and Tom sat outside, watching the stars. Mina rested her head on Tom's shoulder. "Thank you for helping me," she said softly. Tom smiled. "We help each other. That is what friends do." The stars above twinkled gently, shining like a promise of hope and peace. The village was safe. For now. But Mina and Tom knew they must stay ready, for their journey was far from over. The village slowly returned to its quiet life after the hunters had left. Mina felt stronger than ever. She had learned much about humans and their ways. Tom had been by her side through it all, teaching her about the world she was now part of. But Mina knew danger still waited far away. The hunters could come again. They were strong, but they lacked something important: human cleverness. One morning, Mina and Tom walked together near the village edge. The trees swayed gently, and birds sang softly. "Tom," Mina said, "your people, very smart, not just strong." Tom smiled. "Yes, we use brains more than muscles." Mina looked curious. "Teach me?" Tom nodded. "Of course. You will. See?" They returned to the village, where Tom showed Mina some simple machines humans used: a water pump, a wheel, and a trap that worked by making noise. Mina's eyes grew wide with interest. She wanted to learn everything. "Tomorrow," Tom said, "we practice using smart ideas to protect the village." That night, Mina dreamed of her home world. She saw her people running from hunters, strong but scared. In the morning, Mina and Tom gathered some villagers to help. "Hunters think only of strength," Tom explained. "We will use traps and tricks. We confuse them." Mina showed her sharp senses. "I can hear them before they come. I can watch and warn you." The villagers listened carefully. They worked together to make new traps that could surprise the hunters. Some traps made loud sounds. Others were hidden pits covered with leaves. There were ropes that could tie hunters up. Mina practiced moving quietly and using her powers to help. She could see in the dark and hear faint sounds far away. Tom showed Mina how to use simple tools and machines. She learned fast. The villagers were excited. They felt stronger and safer. Days passed, and the hunters came again. This time, they were ready. The hunters entered the forest with their usual confidence, but Mina's traps surprised them. Loud noises scared some, others fell into pits. Fessy. Hunters growled in frustration. They tried to catch Mina, but she moved quickly, using her powers to hide. Tom and the villagers worked together. They set traps and watched carefully. The hunters became confused and tired. They could not find Mina or the village. One hunter tried to break a trap, but a rope tied him fast. The hunters realized they were beaten, not by strength, but by human cleverness and teamwork. Slowly, they retreated into the dark forest. The villagers cheered quietly. Mina smiled. "We did this together," she said. Tom nodded. "Brains and heart. That is the human way." That evening, Mina and Tom sat by the fire. Mina looked at Tom with respect. "You teach me well," Tom smiled. You teach me, too, about courage and trust. They knew the fight was not over, but they felt ready. Mina felt hope. She was no longer just a stranger. She was part of the village and its strength. Together, humans and Mina's kind could face any challenge. The stars above shone brightly. The night was calm, but the future was full of unknowns, and Mina was ready to face them, side by side with her human friend. The village woke to a soft, golden sunrise. Birds sang sweet songs, and the gentle breeze carried the fresh smell of earth and flowers. Mina stood outside her small home, looking around at the peaceful village. She felt a warm glow inside her heart. Her journey had been long and hard. She had been weak, thirsty, and afraid. But now, thanks to Tom and the villagers, she was strong again. More than that, she belonged. Tom came out from his house carrying 2 cups of fresh water. He smiled when he saw Mina. "Good morning," he said. "Ready for a new day?" Mina smiled back. "Yes, new day, new life." Over the weeks, Mina had learned to live with the humans. She learned their language better, their customs, and even their small jokes. The villagers had stopped whispering about her strange needs and started seeing her as a friend. Tom and Mina spent much time together. They talked about stars, stories, and dreams. Mina shared memories of her home world, beautiful but dangerous now. Tom told her stories about Earth and its many wonders. One afternoon, Mina walked with Tom to the village center. Children gathered around, eager to hear her stories and see her strange powers. Mina smiled and showed them how she could see in the dark and hear faraway sounds. The children listened in awe. They asked many questions, and Mina answered with patience. The villagers watched, their fear replaced by respect. But Mina knew that not all danger was gone. Her people's hunters still searched for her. She had to be careful. That evening, Mina sat with Tom by the fire. The sky was dark and filled with stars. "Tom," Mina said softly, "I want to stay. This is home now." Tom looked at her warmly. "You are always welcome here." Mina smiled, feeling hope and peace. Suddenly, a quiet noise came from the forest edge. Mina's eyes grew sharp. She stood quickly. "Hunters?" Tom asked. "No," Mina said. "Friends?" A group of travelers stepped into the village light. They were humans from a nearby town, sent to help protect the village and Mina. The villagers greeted them happily. The new friends brought supplies, tools, and stories of help. Mina felt joy. She was not alone anymore. Days turned into weeks. The village grew stronger and safer. Mina and Tom worked together to teach the villagers about trust, courage, and kindness. Mina's strength grew, and her thirst was easier to control with Tom's help. She even began to teach some villagers about her life essence, explaining that it was not something to fear, but to understand. The hunters never returned. The village became a place where humans and aliens lived together in peace. They shared stories, food, and friendship. One morning, Mina and Tom stood together under the large tree near the village square. The sun shone warmly on their faces. "Thank you, Tom," Mina said. Tom smiled. "No, thank you, Mina. You showed us what true courage is." Mina looked up at the sky. "I am not alone. I am home." Tom took her hand gently. "We are family now." The wind blew softly, carrying the scent of flowers and hope, and under the wide, endless stars a new story began, a story of trust, friendship, and the power of kindness that could change the universe.